today I am actually going to read to you a piece from a different book. So we've been doing the Gene Keys, but today I'm actually going to share my favorite book with you, The Seven Spiritual Laws of Success by Deepak Chopra. And many of you may be familiar with some of his other works, maybe even this work, or the fact that he's like, I feel like a guru, so to speak, in the self-care, personal development field. And I also heard some controversial things about him, but it's not about that. It's about this book. And the reason this is one of my favorite books is because my journey to, I guess, self-discovery and just unlearning and spirituality started some years ago. Ooh, how old was I? At least like 6-7 years ago. And this was one of the first books I read that like really kind of shook me in a good way. It kind of like, I don't like using the word woke, but it like woke me up. It made me question my outlook on life, question my beliefs, and yeah, just really my outlook on life. It changed my perspective. So I'm just going to first share what the book is about. Based on natural laws which govern all of creation, this book shatters the myth that success is a result of hard work, exacting plans, or driving ambition. And The Seven Spiritual Laws of Success by Deepak Chopra offers a life-altering perspective on the attainment of success. Once we understand our true nature and learn to live in harmony with natural law, a sense of well-being, good health, fulfilling relationships, energy and enthusiasm for life, and material abundance will spring forth easily and effortlessly. So when I had first like even just read that part, I was like, hold on, what's to this? Like I want that. I want that in my life, you know, I desire that. Filled with timeless wisdom and practical steps you can apply right away, this is a book you will want to read and refer to again and again. So it really is a short, simple read. Like this one is it 111 pages? That's so cute. 111. Yeah. 111 pages. I'm assuming that's probably by design. The words are really big. Like it's an easy, quick read. But I'm also going to be vulnerable with y'all because when I had just picked up the book and I'm like, yeah, I really want to share a part of this book with them. It's been on my heart and I'm gonna talk about that in a second. But I was pleasantly surprised to see that I had written a note to myself because I had repurchased this book. I owned it at one point, lost it. So I repurchased it. And I wrote a note to myself on May 12th of 2021 and I forgot all about it. Here we are in 2023. So I'm like, oh, Stink, look at you. So I'm gonna share it with y'all. To myself, dear Trinity, as you read this book for the second time around, I hope you find the missing piece you really need to just live and become re-excited about life. I hope you find the wisdom that will sit in your soul, that you can always tap into to renew you. May your outlook for life be restored. May God and the universe guide your footsteps and continue to provide alignment and move you in divine timing. Love, Trinity. And I was like, oh, I don't remember what I was going through at the time, but clearly I needed that. So that just like, it warmed my heart. Anywho, let's hop in. The reason I chose to go to this book, and I have more in the Gene Keys that I'm going to share, but the reason I decided to jump into this book is because the law of detachment has been heavy on my heart. It just keeps coming to my head. Part of it is, I know that's something that, one of the laws that I really had to work on, and it's a work in progress, but I've definitely grown with that law specifically, but I realized like, you are struggling in this area, and this is where a lot of the disappointment in your life is coming from, attachment. So one of the reasons is because that's my favorite law, so to speak, because it's given me the most growth and I guess peace. And secondly, just through conversations, interactions with other people, I feel like I listen to understand, right? Not to respond in a lot of situations. But anywho, and I kept hearing like attachment. A lot of their disappointment, a lot of their frustration is coming from attachment to a certain result, attachment to a certain end goal, attachment to a certain outcome. And that's causing pain, drama, sorrow, grief, disappointment in their life because they are attached. And it's even preventing some of them from experiencing certain things. So just like that fear, like I don't even want to try it, I don't want to experience it, I don't want to do it. And I say this because I've been there, right? I just told you, like, that's something that I had to grow in. And I'm never going to say that I've completely grown out of something and I would never go back, because I don't know. Who knows when that's going to be an obstacle or a setback. But I know that's not an active obstacle in my life anymore. That's something I've overcome. So I really wanted to share this message. I'm like, okay, there's probably more people who are going through that. It's common, it's natural. So I'm going to go ahead and dive into the law of detachment, right? And hence the title, there are 7 spiritual laws of success that the author talks about. Okay, page 81. So it starts just with a little, I forgot the name of these, are they epigraphs? But some little words of encouragement is what we're gonna call it for now. An introduction, the law of detachment. In detachment lies the wisdom of uncertainty. In the wisdom of uncertainty lies the freedom from our past, from the known, which is the prison of past conditioning. And in our willingness to step into the unknown, the field of all possibilities, we surrender ourselves to the creative mind that orchestrates the dance of the universe. So some of y'all might be like, oh my gosh, I get it. Some of you might be like, girl, what? So let's dive into it. The 6th spiritual law of success is the law of detachment. The law of detachment says that in order to acquire anything in the physical universe, you have to relinquish your attachment to it. This doesn't mean you give up the intention to create your desire. You don't give up the intention and you don't give up the desire. You give up your attachment to the result. So basically what I was just talking about, my little, intro, if you will, to the book, that's what it's saying at the beginning. So it does not mean don't set your intentions. It does not mean don't desire things, right? That's important. We want to set our intentions. We want to have the desires, but our disappointment, our frustration is not coming from, oh my gosh, I'm so mad I set that intention. Oh my gosh, I'm so mad I desired that. That's not how that works. Your disappointment comes when you don't get the outcome or the result that you were seeking. That's where a lot of us get disappointed, discouraged, detoured, say, F it, I'm not going to try that again. I'm not going to do that again. I'm over it. Like, that didn't work out. I'm done with it. And I feel like I hear about this a lot when it comes to dating and relationships. Dating, not for everybody, but a lot of people know it's ghetto. Like, it's ghetto out there. I'll put myself in it. It's given really ghetto, right? So it's easy to be like, you know what, forget it. Like, I'm not dating. Dudes ain't ish. Females ain't ish. Like, F love. I don't got time for it. Because we're not getting the result we want, especially if you set that intention and you have that desire and you've done it, like, you feel like multiple times and you still didn't get the outcome that you desired. But a lot of that, I feel like, for me personally, is perspective. So it's just like, okay, well, what did I learn from that situation? You know, and a lot of times I learn more about me and what I want out of a partner through dating situations that didn't work out. I may learn more about something I need to work on. Like, I struggle with, let's just say, communication, right? I struggle to communicate effectively, and that's probably something I need to work on. I really liked that. I didn't know I needed like an attentive partner, things like that. So it's all about perspective versus like, oh my gosh, he or she wasted my time. Like, if they knew that they was gonna be on that, why did they even blah blah blah? Okay, we can't control that. Dating is a risk, and I'm just using dating. But outside of dating, career, business venture, friendships, whatever it is that you are desiring and you're setting your intention for, if it does not work out the way that you want, you have to give up your attachment to the result. And I know that may be a new concept. It may sound crazy. It may sound scary. That's what I think. Like, I was kind of frightened at first. Like, wait, what? Like, aren't I supposed to want it to go a certain way? Give up attachment. But attachment in itself is just, that word, I feel like, has a negative connotation. I know there's healthy forms of attachment, but when I first think about attachment, I'm like, well, I don't really want to be attached. Like, I want to desire something. Like, I don't want someone to be attached to me. Like, you can desire me, right? But I don't need you like, I don't need you attached. So anywho, I'm going to keep going with that. So the parts that I had underlined, I guess back in 2021, that stood out to me, that spoke to me then. And when I reread it, I'm like, and still do. The search for security is an illusion. And I was like, wow, that's powerful. And going back to the gene keys, one of the gene keys that is, I want to say my life purpose, one of the gene keys that is in my hologenetic profile actually focuses on this. So it made sense. I hadn't even been aware of the book, The Gene Keys, yet. But the fact that this law, spiritual law of success, resonated with me so deeply, and to see like, oh, this is connected to the shadow that you're going to have to overcome in your life, the shadow that you're going to have to transmute in this lifetime. This is connected to that. Like, you're going to have to work on attachment and control. And I was like, dang, my spirit knew, like the soul, the spirit, it already knows. It's been here before. It's been here for forever, right? This physical vessel is like the new kid on the block. So something inside of me already knew that, like, so this is your weak spot. Like, this is what really, this is what you got to work on. So just reading that, the search for security is an illusion. And our life is driven by, I feel like a lot of the time, this search for security. And I think many of us, I'm not going to say of us, many people I feel like still would not admit that it's an illusion, right? This sense of security as far as like, I have a job, I have a house, I have money. That could literally all be gone tomorrow. Like, heaven forbid. No, I don't want that for you. I don't wish that for you. But I feel like the pandemic put that into perspective for a lot of people. A lot of people lost jobs. A lot of people couldn't afford to pay their bills. A lot of people lost money. So this whole sense of security, like if I do everything right, that I'm going to be secure. If I put myself in a position, I'm going to be secure indefinitely. It does not work like that. That is an illusion. But once again, we should still desire those things. We should still set our intentions for those things if that's what we want. But we cannot be attached to the result. Because if you are, then in the event or when something changes with that, you'll be distraught. It'll destroy you. It'll shake up your world. I'm an example. I've been in them types of situations. Not like, well, we're not gonna go into that. Anywho, like I've experienced that, like I just kind of shared. So it's an illusion. So be open-minded. In ancient wisdom traditions, the solution to this whole dilemma lies in the wisdom of insecurity. And that was the shadow. The shadow for me with that gene key was insecurity. And I'm like, wait a minute, like I'm secure in myself. Like, I think I'm attractive. I think I'm a catch. Like, I think I'm a smart person. So I was thinking really surface level about the term insecurity. But let me go back. The whole dilemma lies in the wisdom of insecurity, or the wisdom of uncertainty. This means that the search for security and certainty is actually an attachment to the known. And I realized at the time when I had first like read this, I'm like, oh my gosh, this shows up a lot in my dating life. And this was some years ago when I first discovered this. And I was like, I get like so frustrated and bent out of shape, and I project this controlling energy unknowingly onto the people that I'm dating, because I want to be able to control the situation. I want to feel secure in this. So it's like, I need you to do certain things, right? Like I need you to behave a certain way so that I can control the situation, so that I can feel secure, so that I can feel certain. And I know this, I know it's gonna sound crazy. People like, duh, I want to feel secure in my relationship. But trying to control it and manipulate it, it's one thing to communicate like, hey, when you do this, I feel blank. But really like projecting and like getting bent out of shape and getting mad at the person, you're too attached to that. You're trying to control the situation. Yeah, I'm gonna leave that at that. So this means the search for security and certainty is actually an attachment to the known. And what's the known? The known is our past. The known is nothing other than the prison of past conditioning. And I'm like, oh, that wordplay there. The prison of past conditioning. And in the Gene Keys, it talks about patterns, like our mind makes patterns. So I'm used to this specific pattern. So in friendships, when a friendship is going well, and this is a good friend, this is the pattern. So I want this pattern to apply to all my other friends. And dating, when a relationship is going well, when I feel good about the relationship, this is a pattern to follow. So I want every person I date to follow this pattern. in work, in career, in business, when it's going well, this is the pattern. So I want every other career, business opportunity to go that way. So when they say that the known is our past experiences, our mind creates this pattern. And when we're trying to project that onto every person, every situation, we're attached to that. Like, there's not, what do they say? There's more than one way to skin a cat. There's more than one way to do things. There's more than one way for somebody to be a good partner, to be a good friend. There's more than one way to have a successful business. Like, there's multiple routes. So when we get attached to that one way, that one result, attached to a past result, we low-key playing ourselves, and we're low-key putting ourselves in a position to miss opportunities, to miss new experiences, to miss learning new things about ourselves. Like, oh shoot, I didn't know that I even like wanted or desired that out of a friendship. I didn't even think about like going about the business situation that way because I was so attached to what I knew in the past, this past result. Okay. So that's why that's how it becomes the prison of past conditioning, because you're putting yourself in this box, this prison, to where you're not open-minded to anything outside of what you've already known, what you have been conditioned to believe and feel in the past. There's no evolution in that. Absolutely none at all. I'm like, why did that man go crazy like that? He just read y'all. He said, there's no evolution in that. Absolutely none at all. So most of us at this point have some sort of belief or understand the importance of having a growth mindset, right? Having some sort of goals, aspiring to be your best self. I know that's a hot phrase right now. Being your best self, reaching your highest potential, your highest version of yourself. So that's saying that there's no evolution in this attachment, in that prison for past conditioning. You're not going to be able to evolve. Like, there's absolutely none at all. So if you stay with this attachment mentality, if you stay in that, you're not going to evolve. And I just broke down why that would not happen. So he agreed with me. You can't evolve like that. And I think that's the piece. Like, once you get past the fear piece, I know y'all, it's scary. I get it. But once you get past the fear piece, and then you allow yourself to experience, like, oh shoot, okay, yeah, I learned that I like this. I learned that I like that. I saw it this type of way. I thought it can go that way. Then it's a beautiful experience. And when there is no evolution, there is stagnation, entropy, disorder, and decay. So basically, like, you allowing yourself to remain stagnant and not grow and not evolve and decay, like die as a person. That don't sound good. Your spirit, your soul, it don't like that. It don't. It doesn't want to just be idle. It doesn't want to turn into like a machine, a robot, and just like be in this habit, this stuck pattern for the rest of his life. It didn't come down to this realm to do that. It wanted to experience new stuff, learn things about itself. Like, that's not how we supposed to be moving and grooving down here, y'all. Uncertainty, on the other hand, is the fertile ground of pure creativity and freedom. So that really challenged my perspective, because I'm like, huh? Like, the fertile ground of pure creativity and freedom. But now it's like I have an understanding of that. So when I do have an open mind, I'm not attached to the end result. I'm able to experience things that my mind couldn't even fathom. Like I said, new experiences. So stuff that I didn't know I want. And that is a beautiful feeling. Like, that is an amazing feeling. In moments where I'm just like, dang, like, I didn't even know I liked that. I didn't even know I needed that. Like, that felt good. I didn't even think about doing it that way. Right? And it allows you to be, so that's the freedom piece. And even just creativity, the ability to be able to create new things, create new situations, create new experiences. The unknown is a field of all possibilities, ever fresh, ever new, always open to the creation of new manifestations. So you don't want to close that door. You want to stay open-minded so that you can experience new things. I know something I've been finding myself saying over the past 6 months is I want everything new. Like, and I don't I don't mean materialistic things at all. I'm just like, I want new experiences. I want new problems. Like, I don't want to be dealing with the same problems I was dealing with previously. Like, give me new problems, like new opportunities. That's the main thing. I'm like, I want new opportunities. I want new experiences. I don't know. I can't say. I'm not a person who sets goals anymore. That's a whole nother story, a whole nother concept. But anywho, I don't do that. I'm like, I just know I want new opportunities. So whatever that looks like. And I think it's probably subconsciously from understanding like this, knowing that the unknown is the field of all possibilities. So I can't even know it. Like the type of stuff that I want, I don't even know what it is. But I know I want it to be new. Like I just want it to be new. I don't know what it is. It's that powerful. Like I want that right there. Like show me what it is I want. So I understood what I meant by that. Look, he get it. I'm on the right page. When you experience uncertainty, you are on the right path. So don't give it up. And I know that is a frustrating, uncomfortable feeling. Not being certain about your next steps, your next direction. What's my next move going to be? What's my next job going to be? What's my next career going to be? Who's the next person I'm going to date? Like, what's next, right? In that space of uncertainty, like that, ooh, that shakes us to our core. We do not like that. Sure don't. But that means you're on the right path. Ain't that like so like contradictory to everything that we done been told? I think so. You don't need to have a complete and rigid idea of what you'll be doing next week or next year. You know what? I'm feeling this right now because, like I said, this was 2021 when I had last interacted with this book, and I bought it for multiple people now as gifts. Like I really love this book, and I think everybody should overstand these 7 laws. But anywho, when I started saying I'm not setting goals last year. I was over it then, and I talked about it on somebody. Little podcast, Instagram live thing. Anywho, I'm squirreling bad. It is confirmation to me that Trinity, you may sound crazy to everybody else talking about you don't have no goals, girlfriend, but you knew what you were saying. You got it. You knew what it meant. And I'm just like, they don't resonate with me anymore. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't, on, what is it? New Year's Eve, the whole goal setting, like, by this time I want this and that and that. Surprise me. No, like, I know that I want to be a healthy person in life, so like I should probably go to the gym. Like that's kind of how I live my life. Like I know that I want to like learn stuff, so I should probably like read some books. Like that's it. Like I keep it vague, but my intention is set that I want new experiences and new opportunities, and I'm okay with leaving the rest to spirit, into the universe, God, whomever. I'm okay with that. You may not be there, and that's okay. You may be there, and that's great. Like hey, we got something in common. Let's see, I might stop right there, y'all. I'm not, cause Spirit wanted me to see this book today. Look at that. Thought it was y'all for y'all. It's also for me. I just was talking about goals, right? And I said I ain't picked up this book. It says the law of detachment does not interfere with the law of intention and desire with goal setting. You still have the intention of going in a certain direction. You still have a goal. However, between point A and B, there are infinite possibilities. So that's a different law. But like I said, the word goal, that does not resonate with me at all. And I like how life been going without it. But not having a, what does it say? However, between point A and B, there are infinite possibilities. Overstanding that concept right there, that's what speaks to me. Okay, so I'm going to stop right there. 7 Spiritual Laws of Success by Deepak Chopra. But yeah, hopefully that message resonated with you, someone you know. Hopefully it challenged your thinking a little bit, or it gave you some confirmation. Like, you know what? I was thinking this way, and I thought this was that, and it is. But yeah, that's it. That's all I have for y'all today.